Okay, so let's say I've done my measurements and I fit into the Elan 520 pattern here. On the back of the envelope, it tells me what I'm going to need here. So it's got the fabric and notions listed, and it tells me that I need a tricot. So sometimes patterns will say tricot, they might say stabilized tricot, they might just say stable cup fabric, power mesh, and then you could also use a nylon lycra or a cotton lycra on this one. So that's going to be for the back. Okay, it also tells me this pattern does require lace, and it's going to need 2 different sizes of plush bra elastic, underwire channeling, strap elastic, and rings and sliders, my hook and eye, and then underwires if I choose to use them. So once you have your pattern figured out, have a look at it, and it's going to tell you everything that you need. We do sell bra kits that include a lot of the items that you may need, but look at your pattern to see what you need. So on the topic of our fabrics here, so like I said, it said a lot of times we'll say stabilized tricot. So the word tricot, what does that mean? Well, I have a definition printed for you. So tricot is a knit material that is woven on a flatbed knitting machine. The tricot weave creates a zigzag effect on the front of the fabric and a crosswise rib on the back. Smooth, soft, and stretchy, it can be made from both synthetic and natural fibers. Main uses for tricot include swimsuits, activewear, and lining. So if you are familiar with our fabrics here at Stitch Happens, then you may know that we sell a couple different kinds of tricot, and it's just kind of one of those catch-all terms. It doesn't really mean a lot, but stabilized tricot, I have a few different examples of it here. Stabilized is generally not very stretchy and usually only stretches in one direction. So this here is some lightweight stabilized tricot. Okay, and this one here actually has quite a bit of stretch in the width and no stretch, just mechanical given the length. So this has way too much stretch for most of my bras. So if I had a look at it here, it has about 60% stretch, so this is far too stretchy for me. But this would work really great for a bralette. This is also really good for slips, loose boxer style bottoms, and you can even do some different types of pajamas and panties and stuff out of it. So a little bit too light for our use. What you'll see for the most part is fabrics either called, we've got duoplex here, and this one's simplex. So duoplex and simplex are very similar. Duoplex stretches in the length and not the width. So you're probably familiar with most fabrics. They normally do stretch in the width and not the length if they're only a two-way stretch. But as you can see here, this just has a little bit of stretch. It has about 10 to 15% of stretch. Duoplex is matte on one side and shiny on the other, and it's just up to you which one you decide to use. Okay, simplex is basically Duoplex's sister, but it's a little bit less stable. So it has the stretch in the width usually, sometimes length. Again, this is going to depend you know, where you get it from. Every single manufacturer is going to be different. So we've got nothing in the length here. And it's got, this one has about 20% stretch to it. Okay, so these are what we're going to want to use for our cups. So a lot of times we, Duoplex is kind of one of the most common ones out there. It's not always called Duoplex. Duoplex is a brand name, so you can think of it as Kleenex versus tissue. So Duoplex is the brand name for some stabilized tricots. Okay. The next thing that you will need for most bras is a stretchy fabric for the back. And so for the most part, we like to use power net on ours, but you can use a cotton lycra like that pattern told us we could use. Okay, and so we've got 2 kinds of power net here. Some of them are stretchier than others. So this beige one here is a lot less stretchy than this red one, and this one's a bit lighter. If you are in a larger cup size, you might want to go with one of these heavier ones. If you do go with a lighter one, you just might have to do 2 layers of it. If you are in a smaller size, it's not really going to matter which one you do. Now, of course, there are a lot of different bra patterns out there, so you might be thinking, well, I've picked a pattern and it doesn't tell me that I need a stable tricot or anything like that. You can definitely use one of those patterns. There's a lot out there, a lot of them that use cut and sew foam, some of them use stretch satin, some of them just use stretchy fabrics overall. We're going to be talking about the type of bras that are constructed with a stabilized tricot. And we're going to be talking mostly about a 2 or 3 piece cup. The reason for this is it's just a great way to get started. Cut and sew foam is a lot more challenging to work with and requires a little bit more knowledge in fit. Also, multiple pieced cups are a little bit more challenging. So this right here is the classic bra from Pinup Girls, and it has a 2-piece cup. And then in some of the sizes in this pattern, it will actually be in a 3-piece cup if you are in a larger size there. I don't recommend going higher than a 3-piece cup for your first bra, just because of fitting. If I have issues with fit in the cup, it's a lot easier to tell. Like, for example, as we know, Penelope's not wearing the right size bra here. I can kind of see where it needs to come in. If I have a lot more cups, there's a lot more areas that are going to need adjustment. Okay, this one, for example, here, this is a very pretty bra and not too bad. This is the Pinup Girls Shelly, but it has a 4-piece cup and it's a little bit more challenging to fit. So great for maybe your 3rd or 4th bra, but I wouldn't recommend it for your first bra.